Oh, well, I just realized that my hair is a mess. Okay, that it is. All right. Well, as the thumbnail says, today marks 36 days left until the February law school admissions test that occurs on February 20th. That is a month and 5 days. So, time to turn it up. We're going to keep moving forward. I haven't really been on the last couple of days because of, well, there was the conference that I posted videos. If you haven't seen those, definitely check those out. And then before that, I just wasn't feeling well the day before. So it's been 3 days, maybe 4 days. I don't quite remember of short study sessions. And we're turning that around. We're turning that around here. It's Friday. We got to set off the weekend on a good tone, or set off into the weekend on a good note. So today we're actually going to focus on, we're going to do a full test. The full test, we're going to do a timed logic game. We're going to do a timed reading comp section, and we're going to do untimed logical reasoning. The first one is definitely going to be untimed. The second one might be timed depending on how I feel about it. I know that's not a lot to work off of, but we'll see when we get there. Um, I will be doing this test differently than I did the other tests. The other tests I've been doing in the books. This test I'm starting to move online because the test itself is administered online. So I want to make sure I have enough practice in that. So I'm going to be online. I might rotate back and forth or flip flop back and forth between the online tests and the in book examinations. But for now, I'm going to focus on the online stuff. In terms of test, I'm going to be doing prep test 42 online. That's the same thing as prep test 42 in this book. It's an actual official LSAT prep test 42 to 51. The test was released on December 2003, and it's the same test as this guy. Just instead of it being in the book, I'm going to be doing it online because that's how the test is administered, and I want to make sure I have enough time feeling it out. Also, I want to, my reading comp scores generally are very, very different between the online version and the in print version for whatever reason. I don't know. I don't know. But we're going to give that a try and we'll see how it goes. Um, yeah, in terms of timing, reading comp, I'll have 35 minutes for the 4 passages. Logic games, I'll have 40 or 35 minutes for the 4 games. Um, I do not currently have extra time on the LSAT, so it'll stick to 35 minutes. And then logical reasoning, we'll start. The first section will be untimed, and then the second section will be whether or not I feel like moving to timed and seeing how I do. I'm not going to grade it after each section. I am going to grade it after I'm done. Yeah, so without further ado, I'm going to jump in. For anyone that doesn't know where this online test that I'm talking about, where they are, I'm going to put them in the comments section. If you go to that link, what that link is it'll take you to 2 options. The first option is the official LSAT prep. That's from the Law School Admissions Council, LSAC. That's free. You get 2 full free official LSAT prep tests to practice. I think you can practice those tests over and over again. You can either self-pace or you do a simulated exam. And then you have your test history, so you can look back and see your improvements. Again, you only get 2 official prep tests. And then the other option is the official LSAT Prep Plus. It's $99. It's a year access to every prep test that LSAC has distributed to date, right? So I'm looking at it right now. They start at prep test 19, which was in the 1990s, and they have all the way through to prep test 89. And on top of that, they've included an LSAT Flex version of prep test 73. They've included the June 2007 prep test, and even the May 2020, the most recent test, the May 2020 LSAT Flex sample. Um, yeah, definitely worth it. If you're going to be studying, you're going to be studying hard. Two tests are not enough. You're going to want more practice. You're going to want more um, availability to the tests. And if you look at how much each one of these 10 test books cost, right? Um, and the fact that if you want to look at a test more than once, you have to write in it, or you're not allowed to write in it. If you look at how much all these cost, they add up very significantly. I mean, I think six of them. I think it's six of them. Uh, yeah, and they're not cheap. It's definitely worth it. I got the online version and the book version because I was working out of the books, and then I found out they had this online thing, and I wanted to make sure I got the practice in online in the format that the test is going to be in. But again, $99 for something this effective, um, and its ability to just contribute so much to your learning is definitely worth it. Other than the stuff you get in the free version, you also get yeah, you get instant scoring feedback. You get the practice test history, the self-paced and simulated exam modes, the unlimited practice with the interface, and of course over 70 full prep tests. Definitely worth it. No questions asked. It's $100. I understand it's a lot, but again, on getting 2 points higher on your LSAT than you would without it um, could lead to thousands of dollars in scholarship or to getting into a school that'll make you tens of thousands of dollars more a year. So if you're asking me whether $100 matters, or if not, if it matters, if $100 is a lot to spend on a test, not when that test or not when that $100 is going to help you do better on a test that's going to make you tens of thousands of dollars later on, or save you thousands of dollars later on. 100 now for 1,000 later. If you have it, spend it. If you really can't and you don't, I recommend that you try to get an LSAC fee waiver. They'll waive 2 LSAT fees to actually sit and take the test. And on top of that, you get LSAT Prep Plus for free. So if you don't have the $100, try to get a fee waiver. If you do have the $100, you should spend it. I'm not telling you how to spend your money. I'm just saying that's how you should spend your money, or at least some of it. Yeah, without further ado, I'm going to get started with the prep test. Again, I'm doing test 42. That's the first test in the 10 actual official LSAT prep test 42 to 51. It was administered on December 2003. Um, there is a marked difference between the older tests like this one and the most recent tests. We're talking the ones in the 80s, late 70s and 80s, which is 2016 and more recent. Of course, as we get closer to testing, I'm going to zoom in or continue further into the numbers. The reason the most recent tests are harder, I believe, simply is that the once you study for a test, you can get good at it, especially with the LSAT and its patterns and stuff. If they don't change things up a little bit or make it a little bit harder, they get too many 170s and high 160s. And in order to re-standardize the curve, essentially, they need to take it a step further. And that's what you get in the 80s. Logic games, they have more hybrid games. They have an extra step, or they have a little more deductive reasoning involved. Logical reasoning, they ask questions that are a little tougher. Reading comp, they bring in um, two passage reading comp style, right? Because in the older tests, you only have the passage and then a couple questions. In the newer tests, one of those four passages, so to speak, that you would have on a regular section, one of those, or potentially two of those, but generally one of those has a passage A and a passage B and asks you to analyze them relative to each other as individually standing passages. They just add more things, more new things to keep people on their toes to make sure you can't study and learn the test. Because if everyone can study and learn, I mean, you still can, right? But if everyone can study and learn the test, and everyone gets 98 to 101 out of 101 questions, or I guess 74, 75 out of 76 questions, if we're talking about the flex, then that's not going to give law schools anything. So, in order to combat high scores, they make the test a little harder to try to recalibrate the curve, essentially. Um, from what I heard, that's what happened on the November test. I don't know if that's a reputable source, how reputable the source is, and whether or not it's true. I can't really speak to that. Um, but yeah, as you get further into the test, particularly around the 80s, the tests do get harder. I'm not worrying about the 80s yet. I got to make sure I get the older tests doing well, get those running, and then we can start talking about the newer tests and stuff like that. So yeah, timed reading comp, timed logic game, at least one untimed logical reasoning. If I feel good about the untimed and I feel good about how fast I'm moving and my pace and my mental fortitude going into the fourth section, I might do a timed logical reasoning. The reason I would do that is I would be able to get an LSAT flex score, reading comp, logic games, and logical reasoning with the time. Um, but again, that all depends on how I'm feeling when I get there, because of course I would have already done a logical reasoning section. Um, yeah, that's it. I think I'm going to jump in. So today, music wise, we're going for the on Spotify, the no copyright, all caps, and then music for studying, gaming, working, and relaxing playlist. This is the one with all the Ron Galinas songs. That's like the quieter, um, nature esque, uh, kind of artsy, calm, trees, wind, birds. Um, yeah, I mean, heck, the picture of the album is a girl's face, and her hair looks like waves, like ocean waves. Fun fact, I learned this today. Did you know that the tides, you know how you get high tide at night and then like low tide during the day? Do you know that that's not actually a thing? The water doesn't move back and forth. It's you have the water of the globe is kind of it's instead of being like a sphere like the earth's surface, it's kind of ovally, um where there's like a pole on the moon side and a pole on the sun side, and as we spin, right, we go from day to night, we, get to that pole, which is where we have high tide right at night, and then we get to the part where it's flat, and that's where it's, um, I guess, low, and then you get to the other side and it goes high, and then you get to the other side and it goes low, and that's what causes it. So it's not like the waves or the water goes in and out. It's really the pull of the water toward the sun and the moon in particular, which is pretty cool. Fun fact: I didn't know that. I knew that it changes with the time of day. I didn't know how, but that's how the water kind of gets pulled into an ovally shape instead of a spherical one. I don't even know if ovally is the right ellipses. No, ellipses are the three dots. What's that word? Elliptical. No, that's the exercise equipment. Um, I don't know. Whatever the 3D shape that, or the 3D, yeah, the 3D shape that means oval in three dimension, like an egg, but more ovally and symmetric. Whatever that one means, whatever that word is, that's what I'm trying to say. Point is, I'm done talking. It's been 15 minutes, and I don't think I've shut up for longer than 30 seconds at once. Last check of the emails, nothing there. Okay, music. And if the music volume needs to change higher or lower, let me know. I will be glad to do that. All right, so I finished. I have 4.5 minutes left. I'm going to go and review the first game because I need to go over question 4. All right. Finish that one. Onwards and upward. Oh, that wasn't the best section, but it's okay. That was timed. I finished with a minute left. Huh. Not the best, not bad. Not the best, though. I definitely want to review this. Yeah, I'll go back over those games. I need to go over one of them, but I'll go back over it later. Not in the mood now. Got some emails. Let's see, any questions? Is anyone here? Does anyone here have any questions? Are you just studying, doing work? Now's your chance. I'll give it a couple minutes. Otherwise, the next section, according to this, is going to be based on the reasoning presented in a brief passage. Okay, so it's going to be logical reasoning. I'll give another minute if you're here for any LSAT or testing general questions or anything that I might be able to help with, feel free. I'm pretty good with most things. Not to panic during tomorrow's test. All right, yeah, that's a great question. First things first, it's okay to get a little nervous beforehand. But when you're on Proctor, sorry, I'm going to pause the music so I can focus. But when you get to the proctored exam and you're online and the proctor is there and they're checking everything, you have to go through all the tests, right? The camera test, the mic test, the room check. But you actually are the person that clicks the start button. You'll get the last display. It'll be a little button. It says start. You don't have to click that button right away. You don't. You can I'd say take up to 5 minutes. I know a guy that took 5 minutes just sitting there and breathing before he even began the test. Just sit there, breathe, relax. Okay, this test isn't, the end all be all. It's an important test, but your life doesn't end at the test, right? So you gotta keep perspective. I understand if this is like the last chance you'll ever have of taking the test, it might add more pressure, but that's just you putting that on yourself. Just breathe, right? Have some water with you. Relax. A lot of people just talking it out helps calm them down. So you have the opportunity to talk to your proctor. Just let them know, hey, this is an important test. I'm going to take my time getting ready. I'm not going to hit start until I've calmed down, I've relaxed. Um, and then just know your space, right? If you're going to take the test, yeah, in your room, for example, I take mine right on this desk. Just clean the space, relax, wake up at a good time, go to sleep at a good time, wake up at a good time, think positive, eat breakfast, good night's rest, and just breathe. That's it. That's all I can tell you. Oh, and then once you get in the test, right? Let's say your first section is a logical reasoning, and you get to the first question, and which usually 1 through 10 are like the easier questions, right? But let's say you get to the first question, and it asks you um, the the conclusion above depends on the assumption on which of the following assumptions. And you read the passage and you read it, and it sounds like gibberish. It sounds like someone is speaking to you in a language that you've never heard before, right? Um, just don't worry about it. Don't freak out. You know that those are the easier questions generally. So just say, you know what? It'll take me 30 seconds to finish this question when I'm in headspace. Just move on. What'd you lose? 10 seconds? That's not going to matter very much. Not if you studied, right? So move on to question two. If question two is easy, okay, now you're gaining that confidence. Now you're starting to feel good. Move on to question three. Boom, knock two out. Guess what? You're in better headspace. Go ahead, take a look back at number one. Or if you go from number one to number two, and number two is still kind of iffy, go to number three. You'll pick up rhythm. You'll pick up a momentum. Don't struggle and focus on that one question at the beginning that's just like, oh, I can't wrap my head around it. Get to the question that you're like, wow, piece of cake. Do the next one, wow, butter. And then once you get that vibe, it kind of that panic, that nervousness just melts away, and you can go back, tackle those questions that seemed a little harder before, and they'll just be that little bit easier. And it really is, like I don't know if you've ever played sports, Sam, but I played sports my entire life. right? And I used to I played relatively competitively. I played soccer, and I used to get to train and try out for high quality teams. And whenever I'd show up at a tryout, like I'd have belt like butterflies in my stomach, and it was wild. But once you get on the field, once you get your foot on the ball, it gets a little easier. You get into the mode. You get kind of you build a rhythm, right? You built a rhythm studying, and then you get to implement that rhythm on test day. So once you get there, it gets easier, and just breathe and relax and get in your zone. I'm not saying auto zone, because Pep Boys does everything for less, but you know what I mean. Get in your zone. Don't panic. It'll be all right. I hope I answered your question. If you have anything else, feel free. And if you want any more tips or tricks, I actually posted a video going over 10 tips or tricks for the LSAT Flex. There were 5 tips for pre-test day, which I guess it's a little too late for those at this point, but there are 5 tricks for test day. Um, I'd say about 2/3 into the video. Definitely give those a look. Go over those. I hope those help. With that, I think I'm going to dive into the logical reasoning section. Um, I'll be back to answer questions in roughly 35 minutes. I'm going to try to keep it to time. I'm not going to struggle. I'm not going to force myself to stay on time, but I'm going to try to keep it to time just so I can get a general idea of what's going on. To go over what happened in logic games, because I do want to, I want to, hit not hit somebody, but but I'm definitely not the happiest. I think I know what happened in um, game 4 of that test. There was a question where you had to split into 3 categories. There were 5 people. People could go more than once, but 2 people couldn't go with one other person. Yeah, this is test 42, section 1, game 4. And I think mistakenly what I did is, in my head I assumed that the person that couldn't go with the either with 2 other people couldn't go in the on the day that basically I assumed that he couldn't go on one of the days because 2 people were already on that day. But thank you. Never had issues with subset during undergrad, but something about the LSAT puts me over the edge. Nerves got the best of me in November, so hoping tomorrow is better. Yeah, I know what you mean. I was testing right around 170s average before November, and somehow I got to the test and I pulled a 164. So I completely understand. Not knowing what's going on, and then or knowing what's going on and feeling good about yourself, and then all of a sudden you get hit. You get to the test, and it's just like, whoosh, right? But I definitely recommend those tips. And like I said, the 10 tips and tricks. Definitely check out the five tricks. They should help you. I think I covered 2 or 3 of them when I answered your question. But where was I? Yeah, I just assumed that in my head, basically J couldn't go with K or L, or J couldn't go with M or L, and K and O were on the second day out of 3 days. And because there were 2, I just kind of in my head just said J couldn't go on that day and that screwed me over essentially on 2 questions. So yeah, not a good performance. That's just a slip. That's just a slip of the hand. I don't even know what else to call it. But it happens, you know. Uh, I'm still 36 days out. Mistakes still happen. Mistakes happen test day. Um, our job is just to try to limit them. Try to get as much practice in so that when you get there, you're as best equipped to handle the situation as possible. That's it. So I'm not gonna linger too long on uh, past occurrences. I guess I'm not surprised. Like I had an average like like 170s, low 170s, 170, 171, 172 going into November. I got a 164. The very last test I took before my LSAT, the last one, 2 days before, the very last one I had the opportunity to do all the way through to get my confidence up 158. So so you'll definitely have ups and downs. Not the best logic game section. It's not like I busted an entire game, right? Or busted 2 entire games. But yeah, that's it. I'm going to move on. You get up, you dust yourself off, you move on. And again, if you have any questions, I will be back in about 35 minutes because I'm going to jump over to the Law Hub website. So I won't have access to the chat. Actually, I think I can pop it out. Oh, I can. All right, cool. So I do have the chat nope, it's going to go away when I switch tabs. That's what I thought. All right, so I don't have the chat. But I will be back in 35 minutes. If you have any questions, please post them in the chat. And I will respond in 35 to 40 minutes. Good luck studying. Enjoy the music. Interesting. All right. I'm definitely gonna flag that one because that one's go back. Flag. All right, move on. super tough. All right, that's section 2. That's the first logical reasoning. I finished it with about 30 seconds. Oh, hi, Daniel. Nice to meet you. Yeah, that was the point, to keep accountable. It's been working for me. I've been on here every day since, even when it gets a little busy or I'm not feeling too well, I just cut the stream down. So I've had a couple hour and a half streams, and I've had 4-hour, 5-hour streams. I'm about halfway through this one right now, so this will probably end up a little over 3 hours. Thanks for stopping by. If you have any questions, I don't know if you're here just doing work or if you're studying for the LSAT or any other test, but if you have any questions, feel free to put them in the chat. I'll I'll answer them. I'm here. I just finished my second section, so I'm going to take a couple of minutes. If you guys want me to change the music, want it a little louder, a little quieter, just let me know. And if you like what I'm doing, want to get notified whenever I upload videos or whenever I'm to help with your accountability or anything like that, feel free to like the video first of all, or the stream, and then just subscribe and hit the notification bell. You'll get notified whenever I go live. I go live every day. Generally, the goal is to go live between 12:30 and 2, somewhere in there, from 2 to 4 hours. Tomorrow, I'll probably start around 2:30. Reason is I'm a soccer fan. My favorite team is Chelsea FC, and their game starts at 12:30 tomorrow. So that's not going to be done until around 2, and I want to make sure that I have time to enjoy the win if we do win. Hopefully we do, but enjoy the win and then set everything up and get ready. So yeah, if you have any questions, feel free to ask, and I'll be back at 2:30 tomorrow. Like the stream, give it a like, subscribe to the channel, comment. I don't know, anything else that YouTubers say at other streams. It's not really my thing. And yes, I recycle. So I took a peek. The next section is going to be the second logical reasoning section, from what it looks like. Yeah, we went 22 for 26 on this one. It's really not good. At least not what I'm looking for. 3 of them were questions that I flagged. 3 of the 4 were questions that I flagged, and I was like, well, it's either this option or this option, and I'm assuming I picked the wrong one out of those 2, but I'll review. Yeah, I'll review tomorrow. Tomorrow's session is going to be a lot like this one, except we'll have the review before it. So I'll start by reviewing everything from today, and then I'll do test 43. Yeah, that's the plan. Give myself another minute or so, get back in the zone. Maybe light a candle. Get some good vibes in the room, you know? Sorry, had to lower you guys to grab this from behind the laptop. I'm running out. I got like that much left. This is also really good. If you guys are into candles, you like the smell. I got this at Walmart. I don't think it was expensive. It's called Cozy Gathering. It smells incredible. Otherwise, you're not a candle person. I also have some incense. I highly recommend these Ganesh sticks. Also not expensive, and they smell really good. They fill the room really quickly. But I guess everyone and their own scent, flavors, whatever they're called, preferences. Got it. Give that a couple minutes to fill the room. Also, do you guys think it's weird when people only drink water out of water bottles? Like, I'm not talking like these water bottles. I'm talking like these water bottles because like I don't like the taste of fridge water or sink water, even if it's filtered, you know? It just doesn't taste the same. It's like drinking a Dasani or drinking a Poland Spring, right? They taste completely different. So is it weird to want to drink a Poland Spring and not a Dasani, or want to drink bottled water and not, fridge or tap water? Let me know what you think. And if you want to know about the noise in the background, it's siblings. This is just my room. They're loud, and I don't have soundproofing, and I have to deal with that every day. Yes, I do. Oh, wow. This is like almost done. I don't know if you can see it, but one of the wicks, the bottom one that you see right now, the bottom one is out. It's at the end of its life. Oh, and these guys are almost done too. It's a sad day when a candle comes to its end. It's a sad day. Oh, wick number 2 is about to go out. And there it goes. We got one left. And now instead of smelling like cozy gathering, it smells like burnt wick. So might have to incense it, but that requires opening the window, and it's pretty cold out here. Or out there. Yeah, it smells like burnt wick. Alright. Regardless, we're going to jump back in. I'm going to do the other logical reasoning section. I already did the first one time, and I'm going to try to do this one too. Might as well get it out of the way, test day style, even though I'll be doing 4 sections instead of 3. So, yeah, I'll give it a minute and a half, and then I'll start. So if you have any questions, feel free to put them in the chat. Otherwise, I'm going to get started in a minute and 15 seconds now. All right, so we have an update. The candle was $3 at Walmart, so I might have to go back and get another one. Someone here knows Walmart candle prices, so thanks in chat. They're also made in the USA. Support US manufacturing. All right, 15 seconds. Deep breath, 35 minutes. I'll see you guys soon. 2, 1. See you soon. Enjoy the music. All right, and we're back. That was section 3, the second logical reasoning. I finished that one with a lot more time. I didn't go over anything. I didn't review anything. Yeah, I'm not. I don't have the best feeling about this test. We'll probably end up somewhere high 160s, low 170s, which isn't bad because I haven't done enough untimed work yet. Yeah, I got more logical reasonings than I would ever allow myself to on a test. So I just need to look back at the question types, see if there's anything that stands out or if it just was me misreading something. Because the more you understand why you got something wrong, the better you can adjust to make sure you don't get it wrong again. Yeah, and this would be my first review of a full LSAT in a while. So it would be good. Sorry, I got an email I have to forward. I don't remember what I was saying, but I think it had to do with logical reasoning. You just gotta keep working on it. Yeah, we should finish. Let me see. I'll tell you. Okay, so this test, the full test actually had the 179 and 173 removed, which puts us at a 171 before going into reading comp, which is not good. But generally, this would be a 173 going into reading comp, because you can move it a point up. There are 2 points up. It would be somewhere between a 172 to a 173. Going into reading comp, I expect to get 4 or 5 wrong. So generally, that's a 168, 169, which isn't bad. But I'll probably finish around 167, which is not where I want to be because I was at 174. But you fluctuate, and it's just about learning. And I'm still 36 days out, so there's a lot of time to go, a lot of hours of studying. I'll probably be pushing close to 80 hours of studying by the time I get there, if not more. So I'm not too worried about it. Anyway, I'm going to move on to reading comp, 35-minute section. We're doing that timed. Everything today was timed. And then after reading comp's over, I'm going to grade, and then I'll do the final grade, the LSAT flex grades, and see what that comes out to. I'm just going to update the description with what's done. Yeah, so we have one reading comp section left. Take a little break. Just an update. You're really not allowed to take this much time in between sections. Because it's a flex, you don't get like a break time. Like on the regular LSAT, you got a break after the third section, because then you'd have the fourth section, the experimental, at some point. So you'd have 5 sections in the writing. So you got a break after the third one. But on the flex, you don't get a break after every section like I'm taking. It really is just bang, 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 one after the other, after the other, after the other. And at least what I'm noticing from these past 2 sections really is I can't even go back to look. Really is. So what I felt while I was taking it was I'd get to about question 18 or 19, and I'd like stop focusing as intently. Like I got too comfortable with it, and I kind of took it like it was just a run-of-the-mill like homework assignment that you just kind of need to get done without doing well on it in order to get a completion grade. So I definitely feel like I went at it more to complete it rather than to excel at it, which is why I think I finished that last section with 4 minutes left on the clock, because I dropped off of the ball. And thinking back to section 2, like that also happened. If you look at the questions I got wrong, they're all within the last, except for I think one outlier, they're all within the last five or 6 questions of the test, of the section. But that's just a mentality thing. That's I wasn't planning to come into this and take it like it was an LSAT, and I should have. That's it. It's a switch. I've been doing untimed work this entire time, so now moving on to timing. I guess I kind of just felt like I had to run, and I didn't have to run. I could have taken my time just like I have been and finished on time and really focused. But again, that's something that's developed. That's not something that comes with it, you know? You have to take those steps. And I'm happy that I noticed it. It's still early. And tomorrow, after my review, when I sit down, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to review maybe before I stream, just so when I'll review during my stream. I was thinking maybe take a break, or what I could do is I could do the test and then review today's test after, so that it doesn't like cloud my mind. I don't want to get tired and then take an LSAT. I want to take an LSAT and then review, and see. And I guess that would also help me see if there are any consistent mistakes that I'm making. But that's definitely mindset is definitely something that I'm going to try to work on tomorrow, making sure that regardless of the question, regardless of when it is, regardless of what section it's in, I'm really keeping on the ball. I'm actually going to make a note of that so I remember for tomorrow. Yeah, just again, 36 days out, and I have a section to go for today. We're at 2 hours 32 minutes, so we'll finish right in that sweet spot between 3 to 4 hours. Um, I'll probably give myself a couple more minutes. If you have any questions, if there's a specific LSAT question you want me to look at, whether it be a reasoning, a logic game, a reading comp, if it's a general testing question, if it's anything like that, feel free to put it in the chat, and I'd be happy to answer you. Yeah, I'm excited to get this done today. I need to beef up my resume because I'm looking for internships for this summer that I'm pretty excited for. Yeah, I don't really know where I'm gonna end up. I have a pretty wide net that I can cast because of my major and my work experience. I'm essentially a triple major, but it's like a single major with a triple concentration. Well, it doesn't have to be a triple. I chose to do the triple concentrate. It's philosophy, politics, and economics, and it's one major that I made that has a concentration in all three options, and I chose to concentrate in all three of the options, in all three subjects. So I'm looking at political science internships. I'm looking at economics internships. Philosophy doesn't really have any direct internships unless you're working on like a book or something like that, but it definitely grants you critical and analytical thinking skills that translate very well into certain roles. So maybe research based stuff, but I'm taking the LSAT if I can find a legal position or something in like a legal area. I think that would be pretty cool. Otherwise, I'm just gonna I don't know. I'll find something. I'm not too worried about that. It's just a matter of revamping my resume, getting it over to a career center advisor, and making sure I'm good to go. Yeah, I have to finish setting up my schedule. I have to figure out what I'm doing because I wanted to maximize credits. I'm at 15. You can take a maximum of 17 without having to pay the extra credit charges. But most courses are 3 or 4 credits. So I need to find a 2-credit class somewhere. I might take a 2-credit class in the business school just to fulfill requirements and might as well expand. Like I've worked in accounting before and bookkeeping, so it wouldn't be too far out of my comfort zone. I've also taken some business classes just because. But I'd love to take like a public speaking course or something like that, although that's going to be hard to get into because that's probably a requirement for all business majors. So those are probably full. But I don't know. I'll set up a meeting with the business school advisor, and if not, I might just end up taking an art class. Not that that'll help anything other than easy A for the GPA, but I actually took one. I took printmaking, and it was nice. It was the carving blocks. Those were cool. Yeah, I'm gonna switch back to the LSAT at 2 hour 40. Just give myself a little break, so I have about 3 minutes left. 3 minutos. until, don't know how to say that. Estudiar, again, don't know how to say that. I know estudiar is to study. I don't know how to say the like me in the future tense for estudiar. Estudiando. I think that means studying. Will study. Estudie with an accent on the E, maybe. If anyone knows Spanish and is here, please let me know. Would appreciate it. I'm leaning to estudie with an accent on the E. Let's look it up. All right, Spanish conjugation for future AR verbs. To form the future tense of regular, add the following endings to the infinitive. Let's go. Wow. That's awesome. I nailed that. Let's go. All right. That's high school Spanish for you. Nailed it. All right. So, 2:38. Getting started again at 2:40. Any last minute questions? I saw someone just jumped in. We went up a participant. So if you're here, or just for accountability's sake, or if you have a question, feel free to drop in the chat. I'm taking LSAT questions. I'm taking test taking questions. I'm taking any specific from a test questions, or just comments. Yeah, I'm gonna wait until I don't know, another 30 seconds. If you have a question, just say that you have a question, just so I know. Otherwise, I'm gonna jump over and I'm gonna finish off test 42. I have one more section to go. It's the reading comp section. Right now, we're at a 171 going into the reading comp section, which is low for me. And I need to figure out why that happened. I have a general idea, but we need to go over what happened, and by we I mean I. All right, maybe we change the music, get a better vibe for reading comp. It is my most hated section, so I would love some get down and dirty type music, if you know what I mean. And if you know what I mean, I don't even know what I mean, so good on you. I feel like this is going to get really housey, really EDM-y. That's pretty nice. Okay, it's starting to pick up. I think I nailed it. You know what I haven't heard a lot? I haven't heard a lot of trance recently. I liked trance quite a bit back in the day, but I haven't heard any of it. Not anytime recently. Anyway, all right. I'm about a minute over. No questions are rolling into the chat, so I'm going to hop over. I'm going to finish test 42, reading comp. Unfortunately, it's the last section, and I hate it. So I hate that it's last, but we're going to do it. We're going to get it over with, and we'll be back in 35 minutes. Enjoy the music. And by we, I mean I'll be back in 35 minutes. Enjoy the music. Excuse me. All right, I'm back.
Eyes in the sky, gazing far into the night. I raise my hand to the fire, but it's no use, 'cause you can't stop it from shining through. It's true, baby, let the light shine through. If you believe it's true, baby, won't you let the light shine through? For gazing far into the night. I raise my hand to the fire, but it's no use, 'cause you can't stop it from shining through. It's true, baby, let the light shine through. If you believe it's true, baby, won't you let the light shine through for you. Rise like a phoenix, born from the ashes. I take care of my own. Torn down where I stand. You can't suffocate my spirit. Cause I'm the king of my own throne, my own throne. King of my own throne, my own throne. You'll never see me fall, fall. You'll never see me fall. Watch me reign, and I'll say it all. Born from the ashes, born from the ashes, born from the ashes, born from the ashes, born from the. You can't suffocate my spirit, cause I'm the king of my own throne, throne, oh, 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 oh. King of my own throne, my own throne. You'll never see me fall, fall. You'll never see me fall. Watch me reign, and I'll say it all.
All right, and that is the test. One second. And as always, reading comp is the worst section. Yeah, not a good test. Definitely not a good test. Don't really want to grade it. That was not good. But it happens, you know. You have to take it. It just means I need to improve more. Yeah, we're high 160s. That's it. Like 167, which is the low of the high 160s, unfortunately. But I took all the questions down that I need to review. It really is. It's reading. I mean, I can't say it's only reading comp because it's not only reading comp. My logical reasoning today just let me down. Logic games didn't do too much for me either, but my reading comp really, or my logical reasoning let me down. My reading comp was expected. Generally, I say I'm going to get 5 wrong on reading comp. I got 6. So, expected. I can't be too upset, I guess. If this was a LSAT flex, it's probably going to be around the same thing. Yeah, same thing. So, yeah, not my finest hour. I'm not the happiest I can be. I just got to review it, you know. Yeah, one of the sections, one of the reading comp passages, I got 3 wrong. That's not good. I need to figure out what's going on. Let me see if the PDF shows anything other than just the numbers. No, it does not. Yeah, so I'm going to close out of this because it doesn't give me anything. I'm going to review these all tomorrow. I'll probably review them after I take test 43. And I'm going to take that one completely untimed. Because I'm just not happy with this, which means I can't do timing yet. Got to go back. Got to make sure my untimed work is where it needs to be. And then I'll review and I'll see what's going wrong. Can I go back? Yeah, I can go back and look. So that's the plan. I finished on time, all of them, which is good. Logic games, really, I should be getting a max of 1 wrong. So that's 2 point. And then logical reasoning, I should be getting a max of 2 wrong per section. And then reading comp, I'm fine giving up 5 or 6. So that really is where it is. Like, if I were to theoretically give up 6 on reading comp, right? Every time, even though I want to work on that, but I maintain near perfect logic games, let's say one dropped, which is due to stupid mistakes, because in reality you're supposed to get every logic game question right because it's methods, and then 2 on logic games like I generally do, and then I drop, let's say, even 6. You're looking at what would be equivalent to like right around a 170. Right around a 170. So yeah, I mean, that's it. LSAT Flex doesn't give you room for mistakes. If I can cut my reading comp down to 1 or 2 questions per section wrong, I'm looking at a big score. But otherwise, I mean, I got to figure out what's going on. I got to figure out what happened today. So I got to review tomorrow. I don't know how you go from a 174 to a high 160s. I don't know if that was a fluke. I don't know if this was a fluke. How you go from a 174 to a 167. That's 7 question difference. I mean, this test also has 179 and 173 removed. So, I mean, there are 2 points. So maybe this is a 169, which makes a lot more sense. But 174 to a 167 is not normal. It feels exactly like before test day. I was getting low 170s, and then I turned up with a 64 on the test. I don't know, but regardless, that's my test for today. We're 3 hours and 22 minutes in. I'm not the happiest, but I'm willing to answer any questions. I don't really know what else to say. If you have any questions, I'll be here for another 2.5 minutes. I'll get off at 3:25. Yeah, if you have any questions, feel free to ask. Otherwise, I'm going to go work on my resume. Probably make a Google Sheets with all of my potential internship possibilities, or places I'd like to apply and internships I'd like to apply for. So yeah. For those of you taking the test this week, the January LSAT, I wish you all the best. I hope you crush it. Just keep your chins up. Believe in yourself. Say a little prayer beforehand if you do that type of thing. Make sure you get a good night's sleep. Make sure you eat a good breakfast. Make sure your space is quiet. Make sure your desk is clean. And just go crush it. Go in with the mindset, I am going to win this game. This game being the LSAT. Go win. Go win. Go win. Think about it. This 2.5 hours or 2 hours that the test will take, It can't ruin your life, but it sure can make it a lot better, or a lot easier. So there's no negative outcome here. It's only a positive. So go take that positive and make it work for you. Be calm if you take tests when you're peaceful. Get hype if you need that energy and that backbone, that energy to go out and get it. Yeah, that's all I have for you guys. So with that, I want to say good night, good evening, good afternoon, good morning, good midnight, good wee hours of the morning, good whatever it is, wherever you are. And uh, I hope your studying is going the way it should be going, and I hope that you're doing what you got to get done. With that, I'm calling it a night, and I will see you all tomorrow. Again, tomorrow's stream is going to start late. I'm going to start right around 2:30 probably because it's a Chelsea game. That starts at 12:30 Eastern time, runs until about 2 Eastern time, if not a little later. So I'll try to get on about 2:30 Eastern time. I don't know how that converts, but if you'd like to be here, please do join me. If you have your LSAT tomorrow, good luck. Have a good night, guys.